everybody. My name is Jerry Marotti, and my partner is Greg Marangel, and welcome today to our show, and together we are
the Wax Hunters.
Listen, we got a really, really great show today for all our people out there that watch, and please spread the word because this is going to be a real doozy. We have no other than the owner of Baseball Card Exchange, Steve Hart.
The godfather of wax.
The godfather of wax, that's right. And boxes and packs and anything else you want to get certified, this is the guy. Period. End of story. Okay, so if you have wax boxes out there, anything that needs to be certified and done the right way, Baseball Card Exchange is your place to go because Steve does not play around when he does these boxes. It's all done professional. It's all broken down. And for example, I had sent a box in there that I was really excited about. It was O-Pee-Chee 83 baseball, and it was tape intact. And by the time it got there, the tape was a little bit off, still intact. But unfortunately, I get a card that says exactly that. Unfortunately, the tape came loose and he can't do it. So he doesn't play around. He's right to the T, and he is absolutely the best. Well, Steve, welcome to our podcast. We are so excited to have you.
Thanks, guys.
Steve, so give us a little background. You know, you've done, I would imagine, hundreds of thousands of boxes in your lifetime, or quite a few. What got you into this? What motivated you to bring this kind of a thing to the market, to make it honest, to make it real, so nobody gets rooked or is screwed, to be exact?
Well, you know, this is my 35th year doing this for a living, full time. I've always been interested in unopened material. You know, from the beginning, I just couldn't understand why it would still be out there unopened. You would have assumed it all got opened up and the gum chewed when it was issued. So I just always had a fascination with unopened stuff. But originally what we started doing was shrink wrapping boxes, putting our business card in the bottom, just for our own products. You know, pretty much just for security and shipping, and having our name in the bottom would help advertising, depending on how many times the box floated around. So after doing this for a few years, we started having people ask if I would do their boxes. And, you know, we gave some thought to it, and we really didn't think at first about doing it. But enough people started asking, saying, you know, I don't know what I have. I bought it off eBay a decade ago. I don't know if it's good. Could you help me out? And at first I did it for free. You know, I did it for several customers of ours and didn't charge them anything. I just gave them the advice and whatever. But then once word got out, it blew up. And I couldn't even handle at the time the amount of stuff that was coming in. Wow. That's when we decided we had to charge to have it done.
Wow. You know, I got to ask you one question. And this might be the success of your business. Who writes on the back labels of what they are? It is beautiful handwriting on these labels. You have one person writing all these labels because it's so neat and really stylish the way they write it. It really makes the label.
Right. Believe it or not, me and my guys plan all this stuff for a reason.
Wow. You
know, originally we had the shrink wrap that was clear, so we had to go to a shrink wrap that was with our logos in it, because people were forging it, of course.
Yep.
Then we had to go with our label on the bottom with a hologram that's destroyable if picked at.
Yep.
Then I finally decided, you know, the lady's name is Kathy.
Okay.
Let's have her write on the bottom of each box what it is. That would be a lot, you know, because we've seen boxes out there where people have forged my handwriting or Rick's handwriting.
Yeah.
However, we think it'd be pretty tough to forge Kathy's handwriting and get it right.
Well, we love it, and I always
distinct,
admired it. And look, that's one of the questions I had. As simple as it may sound, but you know, it is beautiful handwriting, and it does make it. One question I do have for you is when people send in a rack, a pack, you know, the 3 grocery store racks, you wrap it, but you don't label it. Why is that?
We decided at the beginning that putting a label on since a rack pack is a piece that you can view both sides.
That's fair.
We just felt putting a big label on the bottom would just
take away from
it ugly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
fair
and
enough.
away from the whole Rat Pack and its appearance.
And it still looks really great. Anyways.
It still does. I mean, he
which
does
is-
a good job
which,
with
to
it.
your point, that's a great call because you can still enjoy both sides of it.
And for the people out there watching, I have one of his receipts here that he did my stuff, and look how he puts everything down there. Everything is broken down for you. He is very reasonable when he's doing this, and it is immensely fantastic for the industry. So to have this kind of notoriety in the business when you get a box wrapped by Baseball Card Exchange, when you get that back, that box is great. Now,
Yeah,
Steve, how do you determine the boxes? And I've seen I've paid a lot of attention to you. I've seen you've graded 86 Fleer boxes, and there's one box in particular you graded a while back that said 3 packs were not from the original box, and that box went for around $20,000 less than the one you certified with all the original packs. Can you maybe elaborate on how do you know that, considering the packs all look the same, and how did you get that expertise?
Fleer basketball in '86 was originally printed, obviously their first attempt at it, to where the collector would get 3 sets out of a box and 3 sticker sets out of a box.
Oh, okay.
Probably because everybody complained about baseball cards and having to open 12 boxes to finally make one set. So it sounds like Fleer had a good idea to make it so the collector would be happy.
Wow.
So in the fact that they did this, there is a distinct pattern to the packs. There's a pattern of the stickers, the pattern of the top card showing. There's a pattern, in fact, the way the stickers come in the box if they haven't been shuffled. And then other than that, too, we also look at the shades of blue on the wrapper. If there's different shades of blue on the blue part of the wrapper, you can tell they've come from different sources.
Wow. Well, that is very interesting. And you see, for Wax Nation out there, I'll say it again. If you have a rare box or a box that you want to make sure that it is real and in order, that's where you have to send it to the Baseball Card Exchange, because they're going to tell you what the real deal is. So, Greg, you have a couple questions for Steve that you were curious about.
Yeah, so I'll say between Jerry and I, we probably have well over 100 boxes wrapped by Baseball Card Exchange.
Yes.
So first of all, thank you for keeping the industry clean, especially for us. We're huge wax collectors. What are things that some of our viewers out there and new collectors and even old collectors could look for when they're buying wax boxes out there? What are some things that they should look out for? To either maybe know that something they're buying is genuine, or maybe something that they should be a little suspicious of.
And you can get specific too. You can get specific on a box, say 84 football or 89 Fleer basketball. Maybe get specific on a box. What do you look for?
Okay, well, first of all, the easiest red flag is if it's too cheap.
Yeah,
it probably is. And a lot of the dumping ground for bad stuff, of course, pops up on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of bad single packs, especially when you get into the 50s and 60s.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's very little chance any of those packs are real.
Mm.
Full boxes also get dumped on eBay that are no good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they all are.
Right.
But it of course, is a place for people to fleece bad stuff.
Mm.
As far as the details of looking how to see if the packs are good or not, it all comes down to the wax roller mark, the corners on the wax, and that's a little bit difficult to explain, over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who are forging this stuff are getting better and better all the time too. So even if I gave you answers on what to look for, it's pretty much been 35 years of experience spotting it when these people are getting better creating it.
And that's what scares us and collectors for sure. So it's hard to tell. And again, I tell people that we've talked about you on a couple of our shows that, you want to make sure it's wrapped, because if it's wrapped by you, it's good. And you can always check the certification number by giving you a call, and some of them you have numbers on it and some you have the hologram. So kind of hard maybe to reproduce that, people go level. But what in all the years that you've done this, what came across your desk when you opened up the box and said, oh my God? What was that oh my God moment?
A few years ago, somebody walked into my store with 2 wax boxes of 1958 football.
Oh, Jesus.
And 58 football in the first place is a tough wax pack, a very tough wax pack. Solo packs are out there because there was a big find of them on that Heritage Road show.
Yeah.
Several hundred packs. But wax is very difficult. And to see 2 full complete boxes in the empty case with the advertising display, and the boxes are as fresh as something Topps would make 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
What's even better is, while inspecting the boxes, looking at the roller marks, came across a pack, and you could see Jim Brown's rookie peek right through the back.
Oh my God!
That's a collector's dream.
It is a collector's dream. I thought you were going to say 52 Topps baseball. I would have really fell off the chair. I have a box personally of a 72, 73 from the Fritz collection of the basketball unopened. The box is beautiful. You had, I believe, wrapped it and put on their Fritz collection. I bought it from a secondary guy. But my question is, why isn't there a gem mint rookie card of Julius Erving? All these years, there isn't one gem mint 10 card?
I don't know if you've checked lately, but they graded one recently.
Oh, they did, because it's not on PSA's website for a price in 10. It's blank.
Okay.
What
Really?
did that go for? Do you know what that went for?
No, a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Well, that helps the box.
I have my computer right in front of me. Let me double check that. Do you know what the card number is?
Oh, geez. I'd have to go in here and check quick, too.
I think it's 200 and...
I'm just as bad as you.
Here it is. There's one PSA 10 now in the population.
Wow. And what are they valuing that at? Does it say?
Nope, not at all. I mean, it had to be tens of thousands of dollars.
I would imagine, maybe even over 100.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, if there's the only
Possibly,
one in
yep.
existence. Was it because of the off-centering and just the total lack of quality control back then?
I believe the biggest problem for that card is when the front is centered and everything about it is 10, the back is completely off.
Yeah. It's tough with those old cards, for sure.
Yeah, that's tough. And that's why we tell the audience out there, if you're going to collect wax boxes. Now, me, myself, and Greg cheer on these people that are opening up all these packs, and they're online, they're selling shares of each card. We think it's great because we want to accumulate wax that is being opened or whatever, and it's going to dry up the market. And look at what just happened, particularly with the 2000 playoff. We ourselves came across 3 packs. We sent it off to PSA for grading. You do grading for PSA, is that correct?
I do the authentication.
The authentication. Nice. Okay, yeah. So
the packs come to me, and I just give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down if the pack's good or not.
Gotcha. So we came across a couple of packs. Act 3, actually. We sent them out. We're excited about getting them. But, I could have bought that box, and I think I contacted you on that box. It was 10.8, and the guy didn't want to move a penny. And it ended up selling on Heritage for $25,000. So look at what's happening with them. I think the wax market is rearing its head again in a good way, that people are starting to get excited about collecting. And to have you in it, it just makes it all the better. And that's why we want to make sure that everybody knows about Baseball Card Exchange, because to be quite honest with you, I'm sure there's other people out there that can do it, but you've done it for so long. If you were not in the industry, if you just said, goodbye, I'm going to the islands and drinking your drinks and wearing your straw hats, the industry would take a huge hit. So, please stay in business for a long, long time and good health. We need you, and the collectors need you out there.
Yep. As much as I'm considering, winding this down because I've been in it so long and, I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah.
I still will probably remain around to at least do authentication.
Well, that is fantastic.
Because I can tell you, Jerry and myself both, we won't buy a box unless it says Baseball Card Exchange.
Absolutely not. We know when that box comes in, it is clean and good. You take your time. You make notes. With the hundreds of boxes that you get. You still find the time to talk about it. And, like I said, the card you sent me is not really the card I wanted to see, but, it is good, But you did take the time and write on there that, the tape did come loose, and you could have easily said, yeah, okay, the tape's on, wrap it. But you didn't. And I respect you for that because it is keeping the business honest.
Right.
Steve, so I know that the 70s baseball kind of has jumped up quite a bit recently. Do you see that happening? Do you see a lot of 80s baseball boxes coming in now?
The 80s stuff actually over the past 6 to 12 months has really increased in value,
Yeah.
and we're getting lots of it to wrap. I think the reason is because 70s stuff is just getting too tough to find,
Yeah.
and when it does become available, it's very expensive now.
So if
A lot of people have to dip into the early 80s now to be able to
Yeah,
either
they're
find
moving.
it
So
they're
or
moving.
afford it.
they're moving.
But so still 85 and earlier, not after that though.
Correct.
Yeah.
Football a little bit longer, basketball
Yeah.
a little bit longer,
Sure.
hockey, but baseball pre-85.
So how about giving the Wax Nation the pick? What's the pick? What? And you can go anywhere, right up to 2019, from national treasures to all the way back to, like you said, 58 football. What would you put your money on right now if you had to go after something? What's the pick? What do you think is gonna, like? All right, I'm gonna buy this in 5, 6, 7, 8 years. This is gonna pop. What would you think?
Well, that's a tough question. I'm not the biggest fan of the modern stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I realize why a Contenders box is worth $25,000 because there's a card in it that's been going for $500,000.
Yeah.
But you probably have a better chance of winning the lottery twice than
Yep.
pulling that card out of a box.
Wow. Now, he wasn't popular at that time. It was Kurt Warner. I was
Right.
arguing with Greg that, in fact, you would see the Brady more so than you would see the Warner because he was a less popular player. So you're saying that's not the case? You're saying that, it's tough to pull that championship ticket?
Oh yeah, it's a tough pull. I mean, it is a good product. I just, sometimes I'm surprised about the value of a box that was recently printed
Yeah.
compared to stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think
What do
part
you-
of it for sure is the rarity of the autograph rookie. I think for some collectors that's a big pull for them.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I'd rather buy. I've been really big into the early '80s stuff.
Yeah,
So
you've been doing a lot of early
for,
80s
For
stuff.
me, I'm relatively newer to the wax to buying wax. So for me, it's easier. It's more affordable to get a good collection of early '80s baseball. I mean, I'd love to get into the '70s or '60s, but that's just too far in my price range. So for me, like I'm to your point, I'm buying a lot of that early '80s stuff just because I could see that valuable. But a lot of the people that are starting to collect now are really buying. They're buying the players that they watched growing up. So there's some sentimental value to that too.
Right. I mean, and I'm not totally against the values of the newer stuff. I mean, it's great stuff. It's a good product. It's hard to find. But I guess just the way I've been doing this for so long, for the $500,000 you would have to pay for these special Brady rookies, you could own so many cards of Ruth and Gehrig and
Yeah.
Cobb and
Yeah.
Mantle and Williams,
You
and
could
Cy
buy-
Young and Christy Mathewson.
Yeah, you
It's
can get a pack of
unbelievable.
52 tops.
Yeah, right. You get a pack of 52 tops.
A couple
Well,
of them.
what do you think about National Treasures? I noticed they've been. I actually own a few boxes. I own the 15, 16 basketball, the Immaculate 15, 16, and the 17, 18, I believe, box. Those are all hot boxes. I see cards in there, 2,000, 4,000. The boxes I bought, relatively a good price. They jumped already. What is prompting those big jumps in modern day cards?
Right. As far as the product goes, it seems to be one of the most popular products that it makes for basketball and football. It also seems a lot of it gets opened by the breakers, the online breakers,
Okay.
making it tougher and making it more desirable.
Yeah.
So
Is it
I'm not
short?
too familiar with the actual prices of the cards within,
Yeah.
but as soon as somebody gets hot, such as Luka
Doncic.
Doncic,
That's
Yep.
the one. Yeah.
Jokic.
the stuff goes nuts.
Jokic.
Yeah.
He's hot in it.
Lamar Jackson out of last
Yeah.
year's
Yep.
Yeah.
We saw
National
that.
Treasures.
Yeah, Steve,
Now, what do
yeah.
you think about the first off the line item? Do you believe that? I mean, they go for a lot of money more than the regular box. Okay, I actually have one and I'm happy about it. I bought it for like $300 and now it's like $1,400. Is the first off the line really going to be different than the box that's not first off the line?
So far, history has showed it is. I mean, it's difficult to get, and you've got to go online and refresh your browser 1,000 times to try to get in, just like concert tickets
Yeah.
used to be.
Wow.
And, so it's a difficult box to come up with.
Wow. Well, that's
So
unbelievable.
you got a good buy on that one.
I did get a good buy on that one. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So all in all, well, you heard it. You plan on hanging around for a while, which we are grateful for.
We're going to hold you to that, Steve.
We are going to hold you to that. We want to get you on future shows and make sure you're still with us. But, the bottom line at the end of the day is people who are collecting today need a catalyst to make sure that their products are clean, genuine, so they can put their money into something that will give them pleasure to collect and a profit later on down the line. And with you in the industry, that makes it a lot easier than someone buying raw boxes and have to worry that they've been shuffled 32 times.
Correct.
So,
Another thing I'd like to point out is that, our wrapped boxes give people the feeling that they bought something that's good.
Yep.
What you don't see behind the curtain is all of the stuff I get in that's no good, that I kick out. Especially, for example, all the major auction houses ship me all the unopened that comes in on consignment.
yeah.
And some of it is absolutely terrible. Extremely high-value items that is just terribly re-glued stuff.
Wow.
Now, 20 years ago, the auction houses would auction it off.
Yeah.
And not out of, deceit, but they just didn't know.
So what are
And
some of
now I
the...
receive stuff in that I can't believe they didn't know it was bad, but they don't know. They're not experts. I know nothing about autographs. They know nothing about wax. So the part that people don't see is all the money we're saving people from buying this crap.
So that's huge. So you're basically safeguarding, when a pack goes. So if we see an ungraded pack on Heritage, that's something. That would have been something that they would have sent to you, or they wouldn't have sent to you.
If it's a very important pack, they most likely have showed it to me.
That's great.
Raw.
Yeah.
And then maybe PSA doesn't have a holder for it, or the consignor doesn't want to wait to get it holdered. But yeah, usually those big expensive packs I've looked at.
Well,
and kicked out many more than they've accepted as good.
That actually makes me feel very comforted because we buy a lot off of those auction sites too.
Correct. We chase after whatever we can. Most of the time, for the audience out there, you heard Steve what he said. If you do go on eBay and you do buy raw packs, make sure you put it in the correspondence and ask them if it will pass BBCE or PSA if it's a box or a pack.
Yeah.
If they commit, it will. Then feel safe in buying it because you have eBay protection. But if they don't, you got to steer right away from it.
Yeah, and also to Steve's point from earlier, if it's too cheap, I would definitely put my blinders on or my guards on.
There you go. But I did get some packs at a good price, and they were real.
It's true.
And they did get graded, but I made sure I asked the questions.
That's right.
So, well, at the end of the day, Steve, as I said many a times, this is a great pleasure of having you on our show. We hope you would come back another time to chat with us. We think it's great, and we want to make sure that you continue to do what you're doing. And incidentally, for everybody out there, I got to say this: he's very cheap. For what he does, he's very cheap.
It's exceptionally affordable.
It is very affordable, and it is going to make you returns. Because I've seen boxes without the wrapper going for, say, let's just give an example, $100. Once it's wrapped, it almost doubles. So
yeah, it's huge. Steve, where can the collectors, if they're even out there that haven't heard of Baseball Card Exchange, where can they find you and look to get their packs or boxes graded?
Probably through our website would be the best way. We don't really sell much unopened on eBay or Amazon. Most of our unopened is on our website at www.bbce.com.
Okay.
And you guys also have a great selection of products to purchase too.
They absolutely do.
Yeah, I bought many things from you guys as well, so it's another great place to look to get your collection started as well as through your website.
And just to make the point clear, I recently had a 83 box of O-Pee-Chee, a 79 football wax tray, and a 78 Close Encounters of the Third Kind. 3 boxes came with shipping and graded by Steve for $48. Now, if you don't want to put $48 into those 3 boxes, you're making a big mistake. So you're going to get your money back, and people I see will be reluctant to buy unless it has Steve's wrapper.
Yep.
Do you have anything else for Steve?
No, just thank you, Steve. That was
Steve.
That
we
was
don't
amazing.
know. That's right. We don't know how to thank you for doing this interview. As I said again, we hope to have you on future shows. But for everybody out there, we are going to share the crap out of this video because we want you to know what people heard today from Steve, because this is very important. Steve, thank you so very much. It was a pleasure having you. And you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks, guys, and I'll just keep trying to do my best.
Okay,
we
hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Okay.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
I mean,
Look,
Floored.
Look. Here you have it. We have to get into our show a little bit here. That was Steve Hart. Now,
Steve Hart.
Yeah,
Steve Hart.
Right.
The Wax Hunters.
Yeah, right. And again, as my partner had said, that's the godfather of wax. Unopened material. There's the guy.
He is the authority.
That's it. And
you can't get bigger than Steve Hart.
Right,
in the unopened wax industry.
Absolutely. And he is fantastic. And he was gracious enough to do the interview. Again, Steve, we hope we can get you on future shows to talk about other things, or maybe stuff that you want to get out there and talk about. This is great. As you can see, the boxes in front here are all wrapped by Baseball Card Exchange. Yep. And that is so very important in today's collecting, as we said. Packs, boxes, unopened material. These are the things that Steve is best at. They will, certify it and make sure it's good. When you're putting money into, like, for example, this box right here, okay? It's an $1,200 box, around that.
It was nice of you to give me that for Christmas, too.
It was.
Thanks, Jerry.
Must be somebody else. I don't know. But in any event, this box was unwrapped and was purchased for $700, I think. $700, I want to say. Unwrapped, that's what it was. I bought it, took a shot, sent it to Steve. He mentioned that it was a very nice box. Wrapped it, and you're looking at $1,200. So there's a $500 profit for, he may have charged me, I don't know, $20 to say it's good. But the fact of even if it's $50, the fact of the matter is, once it's wrapped, the price escalated, because he's keeping the integrity, the honesty into the collecting. And that's what we need. The market needs that. And the market needs people like him to become experts. We only can hope that we can absorb the knowledge that he has, so we could also give you an idea online or maybe in person of what's good and what's not. It just takes a lot of years of looking.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than buying a PSA graded wax pack versus an ungraded wax pack. The value is going to jump because of the fact that it's been authenticated by an authority and an expert. Just like when you're buying a wax pack, if it's graded by PSA, that's like the top standard that you're going to feel the most comfortable with. It's the same thing with a wrap box. A Baseball Card Exchange is the only one that I would ever look at to,
to wrap a box,
to wrap a box, and to actually trust that it's authenticated. Outside of it being factory sealed, you're not going to. Factory sealed. If you want to have them wrap it to make sure it's an original factory seal, yes. But usually the upper deck and everything else, already has the logo, the hologram, so you can be safe with that. Yeah.
Some do come wrapped in cellophane. Those are questionable.
Yep.
You should really have him look at those. But these boxes that are wrapped by him are proven time and time again to be more valuable than unwrapped boxes.
Yeah.
So you have
spend
to,
the money.
Right. You have to respect that he's doing that for the industry.
Yeah.
And
it's almost like you're paying a small fee for ensuring the fact that you've got, one, an authentic product, but two, it's an investment. It's going to increase the value of your box. There's
like this one already did.
Yeah, right. And to your point, it's not expensive. If you look on his website, I think he charges 8%.
5 or 8%.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's cheap to the value of the actual box. So if you go to bbcexchange.com, you can see the pricing and everything, and there's a form to fill out.
Right.
It's not hard to do. You ship it to him, he gets it back to you relatively quickly. It's a no-brainer. You should be wrapping any box that you have. Into what Steve said earlier, even 80s baseball, which I was seeing was starting to rise up a bit, but
now you got the tip. Yeah. Now you're going to run out there today and start buying
more. I've already got.
You better beat them. We're in here recording.
Jerry, you
got time to beat them.
In the last 3 weeks, I probably bought 15 boxes of 80s baseball.
Oh my god!
I am all over it. So you should be too, Wax Nation. That that's what the 70s that was 70s baseball a few years ago. So get in on that one. That's Greg's tip of the day.
And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for an entry level. Where do you enter this collecting business? Okay. I entered in it many years ago, but until recently really ramped it up. So, you look at the prices and you kind of got to balance. Is it overvalued? Is it undervalued? Not easy to do, but a couple of things are popularity of the player, notoriety, and the accolades that player did. Now, obviously, when you see players go to the wayside, I don't want to mention names to bring down prices of anything, but they do affect the box price. Sure. When you have a star that's done things that are either criminal or unethical or not,
maybe just an injury that's short,
or an injury that does it, then you got to say hold your breath and hope the box stays. But look at a box with many stars.
Yeah,
not just
so
one.
go for a box that has many stars, but also to those older boxes. That's another reason why those are so valuable. Their career is already completed, so you already have their body of work. So there's a level of protection there. So. I look at it like buying a stock, and we talk about this analogy a lot. Older wax is like a safe stock, that you're just going to hold the value and go up steadily. The newer wax is like a new stock that's hitting the market. It's a blue chip stock that may jump up in the future, but you're not sure about. There's a lot of risk involved. Old wax, there's less risk. So. Just have a nice balance in your collection. Do both, but I would say definitely look at the older stuff first.
And again, for the people that are opening the boxes and packs out there, we applaud you. Keep doing it because it's drying up the market, and that will eventually raise the price of the cards and the packs and the unopened material, exactly what the wax hunters do, and advertise. We want people to buy unopened material. It's kind of funny thinking about all these things. There's so many different, the sports and players, and your head spins, But at the end of the day, the old wax will always prevail. But please watch out for the imposters. Watch out for the reproducers. They're getting better and better, as Steve said, and you got to just keep an eye out for it. And that's why you send unopened boxes and packs to Steve, so he can at least certify that they're real. You don't want your hard-earned dollars going to something that's virtually worthless.
Right.
That's really the problem.
Yeah. So just be cautious. To Steve's point, make sure that when you're buying stuff, if it seems too good to be true, make sure you're really looking at that. And otherwise, like I said, just be smart about what you're collecting. If it's certified by BBCE or PSA, you can feel pretty safe about it.
Or wait a minute, hold on.
And also Heritage, because apparently those are. That makes me feel really good too, knowing that a lot of those high value things are being looked at by Steve as well.
We also failed to mention, we didn't give him a disc, but we didn't give him a mention either. SGC is another top shelf grading company other than PSA.
Yeah.
You have a choice there. PSA or SGC are the two noted. Beckett is also noted, but there's different levels of grading with Beckett, and you have to be careful of that. The white label Beckett is the lowest possible grade and is usually not accurate. Okay,
it's true.
So
I have a Sandy Koufax card that.
What's it?
Well, the value of it's graded an 8, which would make it worth about $800.
Right.
I can't even sell it for $50.
Right, because it's that white label.
You look at the card.
Stay away from the white label.
If that was graded by PSA or SGC, it'd probably be a 2 or a 3.
Then there you go.
With that Beckett, they give it an 8.
Yeah, so that's the low end Beckett. Now the high end Beckett labels, the silver label,
a little different.
Gold label, silver, gold label Beckett, they're safe. White label, no good. It just doesn't have the grading.
The only white label I want to see is the BBCE white label.
That's correct.
That's
the
it.
white label with BBCE, which is right there for everybody.
Look at that O-Pee-Chee baseball
That's
box.
a beautiful box.
By the way, O-Pee-Chee, early 80s O-Pee-Chee baseball. Mwah.
Yes, it's actually really good. So keep in mind, again, Baseball Card Exchange, where you can find him. His website is the
BBCE
Exchange.
Or bbcexchange.com.
No, at sprintmail.com.
Well, that's his email.
Oh, that's his email.
Yeah.
Well, you can write his email or you're better at this. Can you tell the audience where to find us?
So Baseball Card Exchange is bbcexchange.com. We're at thewaxhunters.com. We're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Reddit at The Wax Hunters. definitely make sure you're checking us out.
And now that the
And
baseball card
also
exchange,
on iTunes Podcast, Spotify, and iHeartRadio.
there we go. Any more?
I think that's it for right now.
Thank God.
Well, I haven't gone Snapchat yet, but
Okay, well, that'll be next.
It's coming.
He's got us all over the place. With that, we just want to say thank you for tuning in. Share the hell out of this video because every collector should want to hear what Steve Hart has to say. The Godfather of Wax.
The Godfather of Wax.
And we are Jerry Marotti and my partner Greg Marangel, and we say have a nice day, and we are the Wax Hunters! Everybody have a great day. It was a great show. Thank you, Steve Hart, again. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Have a good one, Wax Nation. Stay
Take
waxed.
care.